something that we've really learned is missing as you guys graduate is understanding how can you get help when you go off to Cabrillo, how can you get help when you go off to college or even into your jobs, and how can you make sure that if you are challenged at school or if you're challenged in the workplace, how can you get your needs met? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what self-advocacy means and how you can use your resources in the future. So I don't know, Robert, if you want to introduce yourself?
And I'm Robin Butterworth, and a lot of you know me, and I help kids transition from high school to the world of work. So that's my role at Aptos High School.
Yeah, and we wanted to hold this little workshop because we think it's really important that you guys are aware about all these resources that are out there for you that unless we tell you about them, it would be hard to know that they're there. And there's so many great resources at Cabrillo and that Robin's going to introduce you to that are available to you that I think you should really think about and take advantage of it. You're actually really fortunate to know that there's so many things out there and opportunities. So today, I don't just do it for the food, do this for yourselves because this information is only going to help you. It's seriously important stuff you need to know as you move on to Cabrillo. So by the end of the next 30 minutes or so, this is what you should get out of this. You're going to be aware of how to use your IEP accommodations after high school. You're going to be aware of what accommodations and services are available to you at Cabrillo College. And then you're also going to, and also at vocational schools and so forth. And you'll create a plan that includes identifying your accommodations and how to use them after high school. So we're going to start thinking about that. Okay, I handed out this paper to you. It says, my disability causes me to have difficulty. Okay, I want you to circle, based on your experience the last, actually all through school, but thinking mostly the last 2 years, where do you feel like you're most challenged in school? Is it in reading? Is it in getting your homework done? Is it in following long instructions, like me right now? Controlling my anger? So be realistic, take it seriously, circle the ones that really apply to you, because on the back side, you're going to take those areas of difficulty, just pick, maybe 1, 2, or 3, you don't have to pick too many, and then you're going to tell me on the back side, what do you currently do to help yourself if it is difficulty with finishing assignments, right? Maybe that's the challenge for you, is like, you get your homework, you forget to turn it in, you don't finish it, you circle that, and then what do you do right now? I get you one of these, Cyrus. What do you do right now to handle that problem, right? Do you have a planner? Do you tell yourself reminders in your phone? Do you use a homework tracker? What are you doing right now to address that? Who did not get one of these? Questions today and plan ahead. Part of self-advocacy is saying, what am I going to do if I get challenged? How am I going to prepare myself for those times in which I do get overwhelmed? Okay? And then, who will you turn to for help or support if you are struggling at school or a job? Okay, so think about those questions because you should plan for the best, but sometimes also make a plan for what happens when things go wrong, because then you're more prepared. And then, Robin, do you want to add on to that at all?
With a lot of you kids, you're the DOR clients, so you can access me, you call Kathy Lee, your counselor, and we help you with anything that you need, from clothes to helping you access Cabrillo services to books and supplies, some of you interview clothes, some of you on the job clothes, whatever it takes to get you where you want to go.
Okay, so I'm passing out this blue paper. I'm going to collect this at the end. The blue and the white one together are part of your plan. I need these back. We're going to be reading through them, and we're going to try to help you with your transition plan, okay? The first question it says is, what is your plan after high school? Where do you see yourself in 3 to 4 years? Okay, just give me a brief sentence there about what you plan to do. Where do you plan to be? It'll help us as we identify. And you guys are doing great on those accommodations. You don't have to do all of the ones you circled, just do at least 3 for now. Thank you, Erica. Being an A student. Work hard throughout high school to maintain a C average in his classes. He prefers math and finds reading and writing challenging because of his learning disability. And then in parentheses it says disability that I don't know. But he has worked hard to keep up by getting help on essays, comprehending novels, and studying with the teacher's history exam. Currently uses extended time on tests and assignments
in high school. Bob plans to attend Cabrillo College after high school. What should he do to ensure that he has the help he needs?
Okay, and what did you guys recommend to Bob? What is his name, Bob?
That he's going to get a copy of his IEP from his learning skills teacher.
Okay, very good.
And then he's going to ask the learning skills teacher if they know where he should turn it in at Cabrillo. And then he's going to go to Cabrillo, turn it in, and ask for the accommodations. And then if they tell him that he can have it, he's going to let his teachers know in what classes he needs help in that he has accommodations.
Very good. You guys got it perfectly. And we're going to talk specifically about where, and like, instead of having to always go to your learning skills teacher, we're going to talk exactly where that person should go to. Because sometimes teachers don't always know. And so we're going to tell you a little bit today how to find that. Okay, scenario 2. Who has scenario 2? Okay, great. Can you guys read scenario 2? Oh, who has scenario 2?
Parents struggling to keep up AC average in their classes in high school and benefits from the use of calculator and math and set time on tests and assignments. She is talented. She is a talented artist that wants to pursue a career as an artist after high school. She is considering applying to an art school or seeking out an entire level of art job after high school, or work in an entire art supply store. What should Karen do to prepare herself with the documentation she might need for art school should she decide?
Okay, so what do you guys recommend?
I recommended Karen to get a documentation of what she needs to help her get through college and her art supply school and whatever she needs she can get on it.
That's good. Yeah, exactly. Anybody else have scenario 2 and should have something? Yeah, what did you guys put? What else? Did you put anything else different? Pretty much the same thing. So documentation, that's the key thing, right? Making sure she has a copy of the IEP so she can, maybe she's not going to plan to go to art school right after, but maybe in 4 years she could still use that document. Because if she doesn't get it now, the teacher, if she goes back to high school and says, I need that proof, they may not have it anymore, okay? So get the copy before she leaves high school. Okay, scenario 3. Who has scenario 3? Okay. Can you read scenario 3?
Peter enjoys working outdoors and completing hands-on activities.
Down with high school, I don't have tests anymore, but there's a lot of vocational programs that still have tests. Sean and Soren, there's still tests at certain vocational programs. If you're going through fire tech or police academy, you're going to need your accommodations again. You're going to need to make sure that you are ready to go in order to even be successful in these programs. So it's not just high school's over, I don't have to test anymore. Remember that you are going to be confronted with tests your whole life, and so you should be prepared with that documentation. Yeah.
If you're not going to Cabrillo, what in the college you want to go to doesn't have all of your needs, but like has some,
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about Cabrillo, but everything that Cabrillo has to offer, the majority of the other colleges have the same thing. So the words I use up here, you can basically go to the college you're interested in, whether it's down in Santa Barbara City Schools, if you're going to Cuesta, San Luis Obispo, any of those colleges still offer many of these same programs. So whatever, we're talking about Cabrillo, but you can apply it to a lot of schools, okay? Is there anybody going to a 4-year right after high school? Okay, so the same thing. You're going to be able to go to the Disability Student Center and get the same accommodations too. Okay, but you have to advocate for yourself, and you have to go to the professors too and talk with them. Okay, so what are your rights? So we were talking about that before. Right now, in a public school, your rights are we go and we advocate for you. We try to make sure you get all your needs met. You leave school, you go to a college, it's up to you to figure it out. You're covered by ABA. Somebody asked about 504 versus a IEP. A 504 is a medical, something physically challenging that makes it so that you need an accommodation, a physical accommodation. So Americans with Disabilities Act is what is covered under the 504. So someone with a hearing problem or a vision problem or a physical disability, they're covered under a 504. That's what makes sure that we have ramps in our schools or ramps and elevator access in our schools. So when you guys graduate from high school, you're now going to be covered under ADA, not IDEA. IDEA is the law that covers right now as a high school student. That's over once you graduate. Okay, so but you have till you're 22 if you're still in the high school. But all of you are going to graduate on time, so we don't need to worry about that. But if you needed till 22, you could get it if you were in the high school. Wow. Okay, we were just talking about all the options that you have, and Rob is going to comment on this, and there's some interesting things here. We all know that after high school, you can go to a 4-year college, a community college, a vocational program, and Cabrillo College also offers vocational certificate programs. So this is important to hear about, and Robin's going to tell us a little bit more about these programs.
Right. So in the website at Cabrillo, they have what's known as Career Technical Education, or CTE. They're 2-year programs, so they're fast. Their Department of Rehab likes to encourage these two. A medical assistant program, nursing takes a long time. There's a big wait for nursing. Public safety, radiology, again, real estate, and welding. So those are just some of those are most of the programs.
Those are really good programs.
Very good.
So here are some things that you can expect to get help with in a college setting. You could get extended time for assignments or tests. You can take tests in alternate locations. Jacob was just telling me about note takers. His mom's currently at Cabrillo, and you can get a note taker come to your class. They don't have to like sit next to you or anything. They can be sitting far away, and you can go and listen to the lecture. The note taker's taking notes for you, and then you go later and pick up your notes at the Accessibility Center. Yeah, this is an accommodation that you can get in Cabrillo. It's called note takers.
Excuse me. Are we allowed to take video recordings of our lectures and lessons?
You know what? You can check in with the Accessibility Center. I believe some classes yes, some may not. But that's a great question.
Write down our notes.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to show you a quick video that talks about assistive technology, preferential seating, and the use of a calculator. So I'm going to skip a couple because we're a little behind. But I want to show you this quick video about something called the Accessibility Center. This is probably, if you're going to walk away with anything, this is what I want you to walk away with. This website right here. You go to Cabrillo website, you type in something called the Accessibility Support Center. This is where you're going to bring your IEP to. Okay, you're going to get a copy from your learning skills teacher. You're going to bring a copy of your IEP to this center. You're going to find this center because at this center there is an open lab you can use at any point, a computer lab where they give you tutoring or help if you need it. You're going to bring your IEP there and you're going to talk to somebody. They have counselors there and teachers there that will help you get the accommodations you need, and they'll tell you, answer questions like that was questioned about, can you use a video camera in the class? They can help determine that for you here at the center. This is everything they offer right here: counseling and advising, interpreters, note takers, special classes, equipment. They have, you can get priority registration. That's a really big one, guys. What that means is when you're a freshman, you have to wait till everybody who has priority registers and you're left with the leftovers of classes. But if you have an IEP, you get to register before other other freshmen, college freshmen. Yeah, so it's a really huge advantage. They have assistive technology, which I'll show you in this little video, and they also have an open computer lab that you can use at any point. So I'm going to show you this quick little video. They also have something which is ironically called the same thing as our thing. It's called Learning Skills Programs, and we're going to pass out to you these Learning Skills classes that they offer. Learning Skills classes are 1 to 3 unit classes that you can take along with your other classes. They help you with math, they help you with writing, they help you with study skills. I highly recommend that you take one of these your first or second semester as you're starting to take classes. You get credit for it, it goes on your transcript, but there's a way for you to figure out how to be successful in a college setting. So let's quickly watch this. And that little program's right here is called Learning Skills Department. If you go to the Cabrillo website, you just type in Learning Skills here or Accessibility Center, you're going to find all this information. So we're going to watch this quick little video. It's a little old school, but it does show you visually what the center is about.
Schoolwork, studying, and tests come easily to some students, but are very difficult for others.